All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rahat Wadash, which is name of the Heavenly Father and the name of the Son, through the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations and many blessings to you sincere brothers out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. Now, the truth is being made manifest. Well, it's been being made manifest, but on a daily basis like this, it's the truth continues to be made manifest. I'll put it like that. And when these different scoffers and these people, these preachers and stuff, and they come up to camps, we definitely got to make sure that we highlight it and we're paying attention to it and watching through the spirit, because this guy's a huge scoffer. You know, his channel, when you look up the Israelites, I believe his channel actually pops up because he's done a lot of videos on the Israelites and his connections. And you know, he's been saying a lot of slanderous statements, and then he finally had the nerve to actually come up to the camp. And as you can see, for about, they've been talking for about an hour and 30 minutes. And I believe at this point, see, I couldn't find the exact point, but he actually sits down. And it's a lot. I couldn't find the exact point where he did it. But if you watch through it, you'll see. You know, he actually, the brothers actually confound him, and he sits down. And oh, there you go. Boom. So he actually has a seat, has to have a seat. Okay? And then when you're dealing with spirits and when you're dealing with that sort of thing, you know, you're dealing with spiritual matters, then things like that, they actually mean something. You know, now you could say, well, look, he sat down because his legs were tired. Okay, cool. But these brothers, you know, these brothers maintained. They kept standing up for even an hour and a half more. Okay, and you know, one thing I could say for me, you know, because I've had to stand up long periods of time too, like that too. It's all through the spirit. You know, of course, you know, your body's built up and stuff, but it's at a certain point, you don't even get tired because the spirit is on you. The spirit of the Most High through His Son, the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And because we're coming to a point where people are going to start to see the difference. You know, people are starting to, and people are already seeing the difference, really. You know, brothers in the faith. But at a certain point, you know, the multitudes of people are going to come. Excuse me, people are going to come and they're going to be looking for answers. And just like now, he's got a lot of people on his channel, a lot of those are Israelites who don't know that they're Israelites. And just jumping into the things that were going on through the spirit, Salaki, I'm kind of rambling, but it's so much stuff to unpack. This is Isaiah 30 and 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. And that's what's going on. Matter of fact, let's go and jump back to 18. Okay, because this is what's going to happen with the people, which he said, he said out of his mouth, the Israelites are not pure on this earth, you know, like they were. The pure line of the Israelites are not here on the earth. And that's false. Okay, that's false. That goes completely against all the prophecies in the Bible. And let's jump into it. This is Isaiah 30 and 18, because this is prophecy. And you have to understand the spirit of prophecy and the things that happen. And therefore, will the Lord wait that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Lord is a God of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. And that's what we're doing. We're waiting on him right now. Waiting on him. And when we're having patience, we're keeping our faith. You know, we're maintaining. And that's one of the hardest parts of doing anything. You know, you can be built up, you gain strength, whatever it might be, but then maintaining that's something else. That's a completely other level of consistency. Verse 19, for the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem, though thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. So basically, the Israelites in the last days, they're going to see who their teachers are. Okay, they're not going to be removed into a corner anymore, just like in the time of Acts where men had to run and they had to hide and they had to go here and they were hunted. You know, Israelites were still being hunted, we're still under affliction, but we're not in the corner anymore. Okay, and when you see who your teachers are, there's a difference between the false teachers, which is, you know, Vocab Malone. See, I can't get the exact time, but you get it. You get what I'm saying. Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Vocab Malone, and then you got the true teachers. Okay, the brothers who stood and maintained the faith. Because people like this, they're not giving a fuck who what happens to our people. Okay, he doesn't care. Just like the brothers brought out John Calvin in the South Africa situation. In South Africa, they're just now healing. They're just now kind of healing back from the oppression that was put upon them. And they're just now figuring out the formula. Okay, and the whole world is waking up to this man and who he is. And I believe, me personally, I believe Vocab Malone, he's a Edomite. Okay, and thine eyes shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand and when you turn to the left, and that's what brothers are doing. Daily exhortation, going into the scriptures, answering questions, doing live streams. The so-called, the pastors and the so-called in these churches, these church houses, they're not doing that. They're running, they're hiding. They're using psychology to get your money out your pocket. They can't answer questions. You know, they're focusing on music. They're focused on business and in the rap world and selling merchandise. They're not focused on the truth. They're not focused on being a teacher. So your eyes are going to see many people, but your eyes are going to see your teachers, and you have to identify who it is. Okay, and one thing about a teacher, which I was going to look it up, but you don't have to look it up. Teachers have various ways of showing you things. You got a teacher who stands in front of the blackboard, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. But then you have certain other type of teachers on the street level who they can show you how to move and how to operate. And they can show you different aspects of life and different things. You have to have experience. You have to come from a way of understanding your background. You have to be able to perceive things. And that's when you see these men and different other men of Great Millstone and other camps too, you know, but primarily Great Millstone, that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing your teachers. Hey, because if I give my testimony, I've been in that college world and in the world of so-called high intellects. Those people don't have any true understanding. Okay, they're going off of a script. They're going off of a what's it called? They have to. Somebody's telling them what to say. But in this case, it's the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai given unto these men that are telling them what to say. Okay, not what somebody has written for you to teach. That's what people in the schoolhouse teach. That's why so many people have trouble understanding it, and so many people don't like it. Okay. But jumping along, this is Isaiah 11:1. It says, I mean, it's so much stuff this dude went off on, and this guy has no clue. I'm going to jump down, matter of fact, okay, because he's talking about the Gentiles. This is what's going to happen It said, in that day, this is 11 and 10, in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. Okay, so the Gentiles are going to seek the Lord, the root of Jesse, which is Yahushua. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So the remnant of his people, that's what it's called about, the Gentiles. And excuse me, the root of Jesse is King David. Excuse me, Salakia. The root of Jesse is King David. Salakia on that one. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Right. So the people who are dispersed from Israel and from Judah, which these two make up the whole nation of the Israelites, they're going to come from these different nations across the four corners of the earth. The Gentiles. So Vocab Malone doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And then he's going to talk about how we're going to be set up, and you know, the wolf will dwell with the lamb. All these things are going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. And then it's going to talk about how we're going to enslave the other nations. They shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. And it's going to go into that. Okay, and this is all prophecy. And these things have not, those particular things have not happened yet in Isaiah 11. So, you know, the sucking child shall play on the hole of the ass. That has not happened yet. This is Isaiah 24. I'm going to end off with this, because this guy, Vocab Malone, he got completely confounded. Completely confounded. You know, and I think brothers did follow-up videos, but when different spiritual things like this happen, man, we gotta address we gotta address it. You know, make full proof of the ministry. This is Isaiah 24:1. It said, "Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty." Let me see. Yeah, verse 20. It said, because he said, Vocab Malone also said that the whole earth will be destroyed by fire, which that's not true. Okay, the earth is going to rock to and fro from a drunkard. The primary place is going to be hit is Babylon and some other places as well by the so-called, well, by nuclear missiles. This is verse 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it. It shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on earth, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. There you go. And who's part of the kings on the earth? Who runs the show? Who's the top elites and the richest people on this earth? So you know what I'm gonna say. The different banking families, the different so-called elites. There are no black, Native American, or Latino elites on this planet. Okay, and that's by design. Just like in these different avenues in Hollywood, Esau runs that, Amalek runs that. In the banking industry, Esau runs that, Amalek runs that. You know, in all of that recreation and entertainment and sports and all that, music, Esau runs it, Amalek runs it. Now they might use Jake to try to show that, you know, things are fair. Or they might try that angle. They might set up a R. Kelly, a Rev Run, or you know, whoever. They might set up a couple of Jakes in those higher positions for them to use them, you know, to get more of our people into it. But ultimately, they run it. Okay, there's no bank, there's no international bank that we run. Okay, and that's just plain and to the point. And just like the brother got into Vocab Malone would never rebuke them for any of the evil and the wickedness that they've done. Okay, and that just goes to show who the real hypocrite of the situation is, because our people have done a lot of evil, but Esau is the ultimate. He's the top leader. He's the top boss in all aspects of anything. Okay, and it's gonna take heavenly power for us to come out of that. All right, and that's all I had, man. Just something quick, to the point, and in the spirit. Hey, it's becoming very evident who has the truth. Shalom.